Seasonal greetings. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the program Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is William Kumwembe. In the program today, we look at the conflicting position where Malawians are in this festive season as the appetite for spending is elevated while the country continues to face rocketing commodity prices. How are consumers surviving in such a situation? We have this and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. This is Business Time. It's that festive season again when spending appetite is always elevated, but ironically this year it's coming as cost of living remains way elevated with inflation seen at somewhere around 29%. Now the question is, how are Malawians balancing the quest for festivities versus the ever eroding buying power in this country? As Daniel Zimba reports, there is still a grapple or a challenge that people still have to maneuver through to make sure that they celebrate the festivities, but also in consideration what tomorrow holds.
In the heart of Blantyre's central business zone, just days before these festives, the commercial city pulses with energy. Shoppers, a determined throng, descend upon every outlet, meticulously searching for the perfect products and services to make their festive season truly memorable. Amidst this vibrant rush, we meet Roserine Nyambo, a 28-year-old woman from Manja Township in the city.
Back in the days, the same 250,000, we could buy a lot of things. But today, you go inside there, you buy things that are very little. This has affected us, but still, we're coping with the situation because there's nothing else we can do.
But she assures that her spending is carefully planned and calculated.
Let's spend according to what we can manage. Because if we overspend, then we might find January will be tough for us.
These celebrations arrive at a challenging time for Malawi, reportedly grappling with inflation and high cost of living. Essential commodities such as sugar remain in short supply. Here, for instance, shoppers are limited to a maximum of 2 kilograms of sugar, an effort to balance supply and demand. Stella Kavina, aged 30, from Bangwe BCA Township, sells chicken in Limbe Market, a product which is reportedly on high demand during the festive season.
Business yatu mele makalira ndi panopa ikusiana. Chifukwa mbuyomu timaoda nkuku zatu timaoda mitengo yosikirako inde kugulisa suku mativutai. Chifukwa customer wina lesa makwanisa kugula. Chifukwa nkuku yoti maigula mosikirako timagulisa su mosikirako ina lesa makwanisa kugula. Panopa zikutivuta tikoti nkuku tikuyigula modula kwambiri.
But Stella says with the festive season around the corner, at least the number of customers she serves has slightly gone up. An economist, Marvin Banda, supports observations of increased spending during such celebrations.
So right now the consumer is in a period where they do not know what to do because even the saving environment is not conducive. Where you have inflation that is higher than the savings rate, when you have that negative savings impact, when you have the negative Fisher effect, it also has an impact on savings. That's why we're saying that the economic recovery plan is a very big indicator, and it's something that needs to come quickly so that not just Malawians but also the international organizations should see the direction that the country is aiming to go.
And Dr. Eric Omar, a psychologist from the Kamuzu University of Health Sciences, KUHES, offers insights into the psychological drivers behind the festive spending behaviors.
So from a psychological perspective, we would say that what makes people to change their maybe spending patterns, buying patterns, or indeed any form of behavior is the fact that there are emotions and feelings involved. At the center of it is people's inability to self-regulation. And this self-regulation is regulating that strong desire to do something without much thought. You would actually end up in a state where you've created a situation where you would have so many other people suffering, like what you're saying, maybe the kids or other people that depend on you. So in the long run, it's a chain reaction that would actually end up having more people, not just you, suffering.
In this festive season, it remains clear that for many, the desire to celebrate and create cherished memories outweighs economic concerns.
Now, moving on with the program, there's been a prevailing imbalance between revenue and public spending, which has affected most sectors of the economy, including the government operations. One of the areas that is greatly affected is the councils where operations are conducted. Now, Malawi Economic Justice Network supports some councils to understand to what extent is the challenge or the problem. And the report was launched last week in Lilongwe, where our reporter Kingsley Jazz attended and filed this report.
Malawi's revenue struggles have multiple roots that hold the status quo, contributing massively to the economic outturns that are not pleasing in recent years. Debt levels have shot up, and the little revenue collected is taken up by creditors in form of debt servicing costs. However, tracing the domestic revenue performance, Malawi Economic Justice Network went down to some local councils to see how they manage revenue collection. A whole study was conducted, focusing on two councils of Mchinji and Balaka. What they found was worrisome, but also encouraging to see the huge opportunities that need to be exploited.
Ideally, is the same fact that we're coming from the mid-year budget review, where we saw to it that the budget is in huge deficits. The government or the country Malawi did not manage to collect the projected revenue nationwide, and this is essentially the same as what is happening in the local assemblies. So we launched out this study to appreciate how domestic resource mobilization is happening, appreciating the policies that govern DRM in Malawi, what are the challenges and what are the opportunities. So we are here to disseminate with the key stakeholders and map the way forward, that going forward, how should government position itself in terms of domestic resource mobilization.
With the local councils heavily relying on the central government, some experts have warned that should this continue, it might lead to deeper crisis. Others think it's high time local councils were given timelines when they would become financially independent and relieve Treasury from the fiscal pressure. Minister of Local Government, Benny Piri, said recently there was a plan already that would see all local councils make revenue collection strategies that would be followed up to ensure they achieve them. A recent World Bank report on public finance review also makes recommendations to strengthen systems at the local councils as a potential revenue base that can boost national revenue performance. Megin's study was also to see how revenue trickles down to child-related development programs, and found that there is little invested in preparing children to become responsible and capable citizens in the national building.
Remember, you're watching Business Time. This is a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. We'll be right back.
Every structure begins as an idea, but it's the finishing touches that bring it to life. At Stevenson's Paints, we believe in finishes that do more than cover. They define. From concept to completion, our products support professionals and visionaries at every stage. Whether you're designing a home, building a business, or managing large-scale development, Stevens offers a paint solution tailored for your surface, environment, and standard of excellence. Each product in our range is engineered for lasting performance, precise application, and true color consistency. Tried, tested, trusted. We understand that quality paint isn't just about appearance, it's about protection, value, and long-term results. That's why tradespeople and industry leaders rely on Stevenson's Paints to get it right. The first time, every time.
Welcome back. This is Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. Moving on with the program. Here in Malawi, insurance penetration remains relatively low compared to peer nations. This has had an effect on so many other aspects of the economy, as there are some challenges regarding to access to finance and disposable income. Now, a new firm is in town to help bridge the gap and address some of the challenges that consumers have been facing in recent past, and that's Swift Capital. I'm joined in the program by Mphatso Kanzingeni-Zulu, who is Chief Executive Officer of Swift Capital. Firstly, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you in the program.
Pleasure.
Give me a brief picture regarding Swift Capital. What is it all about?
So, Swift Capital is an insurance broking firm which was founded this year. It came from what used to be an agency which started operating in 2024, and then eventually we met some partners who now bought into the company, and now we changed into Swift Capital Insurance Brokers Limited. It is part of a group, Swift Holdings, where there's a traditional microfinance and digital lending, and then I am leading the insurance broking firm.
What gaps are you feeling in as far as insurance and access to finance is concerned?
We saw an opportunity where there's some products that are yet to be introduced on our market. If you check on stats, the insurance penetration in Malawi is still low. So with the experience on the microfinance side, and then with the insurance broking, we thought we could come up with unique products that will cover gaps that are there, so that we can bring unique products to our customers, clients, both those that are already insured and those that are not, so that then we cover the space that is not there. Just as an example, you see in the past, people did not think about insuring livestock because insurance was perceived to be a product for the rich. But now people are more receptive to get their livestock insured. Even crop, these are products that are just taking off. And with our experience on both fronts, the microfinance and insurance broking, we feel like we are here to bring up unique products to cover the gap. But also we intend to do things differently in the way insurance has been offered, so that more people are aware of the benefits and how they can access us. So that's the gap that we intend to fill.
What is the level of embrace? Why I'm asking this question? You are fairly new in courts on the market, where there is low access to finance, low insurance penetration. What is the level of market embrace as we're speaking now?
It is still low, probably one of the lowest in the region. But if you check how our friends have progressed, is these collaborations. So there's products that have been embraced, for example, bank assurance. You know, now banks are able to sell insurance products. They're working with even insurance brokers because we go out looking for business. Then they also have already a base of customers that they're working with. So it's easy to use the channels to reach out and help in terms of penetration. But I still think it's a big issue of products. We need to come up with products that will resonate with the masses, and then they can buy. Another area is where we probably use mobile network operators. You'll agree with me that every household, at least one person has a phone. I know the penetration is also low, but insurance is low. So if we use even the mobile networks, they should be able to also help in terms of reaching out to clients and the products that are there to be offered. But the issue also that you touched on, disposable income, that's why now we have, for example, ourselves, a microfinance on the other side, because then we'll be able to assist them with funds that they will use to pay for premium. You may wish to know, excuse me, you may wish to know that insurance now is cash and carry. It's a directive which the Reserve Bank has issued. So before cover is in force, you have to pay in advance. So banks, microfinance, or financial institutions will have now to be creative on how best they can assist in terms of the local person on the market.
Looking at your products or product range, one would still be interested to learn, to say, how are you systematically positioned to fill in the gap in as far as propagating financial inclusion is concerned in the country?
So I would respond in terms of some of the products that we're working on, even on the microfinance side. You see, most people indeed are not registered, but these people are out there trading. It's just that they've not been brought into the system. So you have people that are selling informally. Those are people that have products they're working with, but they've not been brought into the system. So for example, if you have to check credit reference for them, you will not find them. But these are people that are using the structures, but our system has not brought them to be registered. So that's why I'm saying these are people that if you create a product that will resonate with them, then they'll be able now to come into the system and be registered. And then you find that they're now part of the formal structure that is there, that is being used. So for example, maybe my uncle in the village, he's not, if you go to CRB to check his name, you will not find him. But he has livestock. He has probably not even, he doesn't have an account, but he has money, keeps them somewhere. So if we reach out and say, there's a product, this money that you have, probably you can keep it in a bank, or there's this product you can pay using a mobile network platform. Those people are already using that. So if you give them and they're aware and you give them the benefits, then you find that they'll be able to buy those products. For example, maybe on the life side, funeral covers. You know, people are using just the phone, and then they know, okay, they are told. If you explain properly, you find that more people will buy those products, because then they're able to see how beneficial it is in the event of an unfortunate incident.
Now, still in the insurance industry, recently UGI, in partnership with Old Mutual, introduced a product that is aimed at combining general and life insurance to ensure that customers or clients out there are accessing seamless services and products. It is coming as Malawi continues to grapple in as far as insurance penetration is concerned. I caught up with one of the officials from UGI to understand the concept behind the product and what gap is it filling in as far as insurance penetration is concerned in the country.
You know, what we did was to understand through a research that motor customers need more than the cover that we're providing under motor. They also needed other benefits to be included. So through that research, we noted that customers needed funeral cover to be embedded in the motor policy, critical illness to be included in the motor policy, accidental death, and permanent total disablement to be included. So we listened to what they wanted, and we formed partnership with Old Mutual to make sure that all these are brought together and provided as one package to a customer. I think the most important thing that we are responding to as UGI and Old Mutual is that previously motor insurance would only cover the vehicle itself and the third parties without regard or consideration for the vehicle owner, their family, and other extended members, you know, that are associated with the policyholder. So we've brought these so that when you're buying motor insurance, you're not only securing the vehicle, you're not only securing the third party as a compliance with regulatory requirements, but you're also covering yourself, you're also covering your family through funeral cover and towards the funeral cover. And if you get injured and you're critically ill following that accident, then you are also covered. If you're totally permanently disabled, or you are disabled permanently following the accident, then you also get a compensation. It's going to have a very positive impact in terms of insurance penetration, because one of the reasons why insurance penetration is very low, it's the cost itself. People don't have disposable income to be able to buy all these covers that they need. So what we have done is that at no additional cost, at the cost of buying motor insurance, you are also getting all these other benefits for free. And sometimes these are the benefits that maybe people never understood that they needed, because apart from cost, the other reason is knowledge. So we are bringing all this as a package so that customers are able to know that on top of motor, we can also get all these other benefits. And these are the benefits that eventually, even if you don't have a motor, you'll still realize that you need them and people will be able to buy. So what we're doing is, one, to reduce the cost, because as I said, all these other benefits that are coming from Old Mutual, we are not charging anything extra. It's just a premium you pay for the motor vehicle that unlocks all these other benefits. Plus, we are also bringing this knowledge to the customer that on top of motor, you can also get these other benefits attached to your motor product. My message would be, when we're structuring this product, we looked at the motor insurance market. At the moment, you'd find a second-hand vehicle selling at more than 20 million kwacha. So then it is an entry requirement. A minimum is that the vehicle should be valued from 20 million kwacha above. And what we have done is also to level or to put different bands or categories of benefits to suit the needs of the customer. So it's been spread to meet the needs of the various needs of customers on the market. Whether your vehicle is valued at 20 million or 300 million or 500 million, you find a level of benefit that will that will benefit you in the long term. So yeah, we've reduced the cost. We've made it easy because you don't have to go to Old Mutual to buy these other products. You come to UGI, you buy motor, all these are added. You don't have to fill additional paperwork. You don't have to visit an additional office. Everything is done at one point of sale. So we've brought in cost saving, we've brought in convenience in the process of buying insurance.
Well, on that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program, Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Thank you for watching and Merry Christmas. Of course, always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and goodbye for now.
Every structure begins as an idea, but it's the finishing touches that bring it to life. At Stevenson's Paints, we believe in finishes that do more than cover. They define. From concept to completion, our products support professionals and visionaries at every stage. Whether you're designing a home, building a business, or managing large-scale development, Stevens offers a paint solution tailored for your surface, environment, and standard of excellence. Each product in our range is engineered for lasting performance, precise application, and true color consistency. Tried, tested, trusted. We understand that quality paint isn't just about appearance, it's about protection, value, and long-term results. That's why tradespeople and industry leaders rely on Stevenson's Paints to get it right. The first time, every time.